CCCA, Scarring Alopecia. It lets you know a little bit about some of the background of CCCA. Hi, Talinda. What you can do about it, what will happen when you get to visit your dermatologist, how they you, how they assist you, how they treat you. But I'm going to be talking today about CCCA, Scarring Alopecia. And for those on TikTok, you get to see it this way. So it's CCCA Scarring Alopecia for Facebook. You can find this on my Linktree profile. If you need more information about it, just leave me a comment, send me a message, and I will send you the link to this book. It is a helpful ebook. I also have many other ebooks. I have, this is called The 5 Top Reasons Why Your Clients Are Losing Their Hair. This is for beauty professionals. If you want to understand why your clients are losing their hair, it's a very helpful guide. It'll help you understand the body's position and why clients tend to lose their hair and what you can do about it. And it takes you through each type of hair loss you'll see and why you see it. It tells you about body physiology and how clients arrived at that condition in the first place. And then last but not least, I have inflammation. This is one of my many books that's on my Linktree profile. If you want to know why your joints are bothering you, why your hair and scalp bothers you, why you have gout, why you have the fiery tendency to have soreness all the time, I talk about it in my inflammation book. So for those who know who I am, maybe my lives with me every so often, I appreciate it. My name is LaRon Quarles, and I am a certified trichologist. If you can see my scrub, I am a certified IAT trichologist. I took a 2-year training and a certification to learn how to understand when clients are having issues with hair loss. What a trichologist does, which is not what a dermatologist does. You go to a dermatologist to get your biopsies, to get your prescriptions, to get your diagnosis. However, sometimes a dermatologist, we urge you to see a dermatologist. However, we urge you not to stop there, because if you go to a dermatologist, often the dermatologist will spend 5 to 10 minutes with you. They will need to see you in 12 weeks. They'll give you a prescription, but they're not going to share with you why you develop your particular type of hair loss. They're not going to go deep. They're not going to go through the many paces of why you develop that particular type of hair loss, thinning hair, alopecia, that particular spot. They're not going to help you identify how you got there, because there's a chance you may end up having that same pattern of hair loss, thinning hair, breaking hair, splitting hair again, or you may be going through a syndrome and you have no idea how you got there. So they're not going to spend the time to talk with you to tell you, well, it's the inflammation, it's the food, it's the diet. They're not going to do that. That's not their MO, their modus operandi. Dermatologists, they're skin people. All they're going to do is assess your skin. Is your skin broken? Is it split? Is it does it have fungus? Does it have bacteria? Does it have cancer lesions? They're going to go deep when it has something to do with skin. But many dermatologists, depending on who you go to, they're just not very, very well versed in hair. Always ask, visit your dermatologist, get all that you can get. If you have medical insurance, you can get biopsies, you can get your ketoconazole, you can get prescriptions. But if you can, try not to stop. If you get a diagnosis and if you still follow up, if you have the means, if you have the money to invest in yourself, go the extra mile so that you can find out what else you can do to help manage your hair growth, your thinning hair, your breaking hair, your splitting hair, your sore, tender scalp, the hair loss and spots. Try to do what you can to manage it in addition to what you get from your dermatologist. So I say to everyone, don't stop there. So again, Facebook, we are going to be talking about my book. You can't really see it because it's in gray, but it's CCCA and Scarring Alopecia. This is a book that you can purchase. If you want my link, down below, it says linktree.hair, linktree /hair loss center NJ. If you visit that link, You will find a list of everything that you need to get to me, to find out my books, to find my many books that I offer. You'll find my many books there. You'll find some of my big four. When I talk about the big four that you need in your diet to make sure that you have the best hair possible, there's a minimum four things that you need. That's there. My email's there. My location is there. Any way you want to sit in my chair and speak with me, it's there. If you want to get in touch with me, the link is scrolling down below right now. Linktree / hair loss center nj.com. It's a particular link, so you have to type it in the right way so that you can get access to these books, access to the products. But we are going to be talking about, for TikTok, CCCA and scarring alopecia. So this is my book. You can find it by tapping the link in the profile. All you have to do is tap on my bio here. Tap on the bio, and the many books that I've written will appear. So we are going to talk about scarring alopecia. So TikTok, let me know if any of you guys have suffered with hair loss, thinning hair, for a period of time. If you're a man, if you were losing your hair, now it's growing back. If you're a man and you started losing your hair and you want to get it back. For a woman, if you are losing your hair and you don't really know what to do, maybe you should stick around for just a couple more minutes. I'll probably be another 25 minutes because we're going to talk about scarring forms of alopecia. So for Instagram, we're going to be talking about my book, CCCA, Scarring Alopecia. Again, you can find this book by just tapping the link in the bio. You just tap that link. There's a link that comes up. It says Linktree / hair loss center nj, and when you tap on it, any way that you need to get access to me, get any of my products, is going to be there in that bio. So I want to talk to you all today about CCCA and scarring alopecia. So CCCA stands for centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. It's called cicatricial because cicatrix is the root word of centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. Centrifugal means it's going to start centrally in the mid area of your scalp. It's not going to form scarring alopecia over here on the side because it's talking about a central location. So it usually begins in, hi, good morning, Shayna. It usually begins in the center of your scalp. There are many different forms of scarring alopecia. However, what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be talking about the type of scarring alopecia that begins in the middle of your scalp. It also is termed cicatrix because cicatrix is short for scar. So it's centrally located alopecia, centrally located right in the middle of the scalp. It begins there and your part starts to widen. There are things that happen. You start feeling as if your hair is losing density. It feels like it's getting thinner. You notice that for a time, you're like, where's my hair going? Why is my hair changing? You may not be up against cicatricial alopecia. Sometimes it could just be thinning hair. Sometimes it could just be you're going through the change of life, so your hormones are preventing you from having the hair you used to have. There are so many reasons why you can be having a loss of density. However, today I'm just going to be talking about cicatricial alopecia. So Ms. Tanisha, if you have any questions for me, just let me know and put them in the chat. So I'm going to be talking about 4 to 5 reasons why we tend to have alopecia. And if anyone on Facebook, if you have any questions, let me know, put them in the chat. Let me know if you have been diagnosed, if you know someone, if your dermatologist has told you that you had scarring forms of alopecia, put it in here for me, put it in. I would love to be able to, hear anything that you have to share. So again, my name is LaRon Quarles. I'm a certified IAT trichologist here in the Pleasantville, New Jersey area. I serve the need of those who wish to understand why they are losing their hair. They want to find what they can do about it. They are fully aware that something is off. They have been everywhere. They have tried everything at home. They have visited their dermatologist. They have gone to their hairstylist. Sometimes their hairstylist have referred them to me, and they find that you need additional answers. So we need additional answers, and you want to do the extra mile. You want to go the extra mile, even though you have your prescriptions and you've been getting your steroid shots. Sometimes there are things that you can do from the inside. So I'm going to talk about that today. So CCCA has many reasons of why it begins. And for TikTok, you're going to continue to see, because I put the hand gesture up. So you're going to continue to see this book every time my hand is in the video. But what I'm going to be showing you, some of the information is taken from the Color Atlas Differential of Hair Loss. And I received this book when I took my first Intro to Trichology course in 2010. This book is out of print, so you can't even get this book anymore. When I hold my classes for hair loss practitioners, I actually copy this book and provide it to my hair loss practitioner training uh, classes. So for those who are hairstylists and who are interested in going the extra mile for their clients, learning something new, we are having a hair loss practitioner training in August of 2025. We're going to have them monthly, and we're going to have them as often as we need, because we need more hair loss practitioners. We need more people helping clients from the inside out, physiologically, helping them with health and wellness, because trichology, in a sense, is health and wellness, because you're helping your client understand what is going on inside of the body, how that relates to their particular hair malady, why their hair is thin, why it's breaking, why it's splitting, why their scalp feels the way it does, why their scalp is flaky, itchy, why they're having seborrheic dermatitis, why they're having the hair loss they're having. We track it back to a particular body system. So I want to just let you know again that much of what I'm going to be taking is coming from this book. It's called The Color Atlas Differential of Hair Loss. And there are 5 primary reasons why I like to tell my women and my men that CCCA begins. The large majority of women that I see that sit in my chair have reached me at a point where there's not much that can be done. What happens in this particular situation is, when I have a client that has a scarring from alopecia, often they have waited 10 to 20 years, 15 years, 25 years, and then they finally want to get to the point where they want to work on their own hair. I want to see if I can pull up a picture or an image of some of my clients. Now, this is a picture. This is a client. I'm going to, okay, now as I load up my camera, as soon as I turn my camera on, now all of the alerts wants to come up. So I'm going to give my client some dignity, and I'm going to share with you. So if you can see, that is one of my clients who lost all of her hair. The top of her hair is gone. She has waited extended period of time. Now she got to the point where she can't grow her hair back, because the scalp has essentially calloused over. It has calcified to the point she will not be able to grow her hair in that particular instance. Now she's only a candidate for hats and scarves and wigs and hair replacement. So a lot of the women that I see my content, and they hear me when I say, try every last ditch effort to do what you can to get your hair to grow back. Many times people understand when you're past a certain point, there's not much that we can do. We can't do anything for you. Sometimes we can help you bring the rim of your hair back, maybe the outside, but it's not going to fill back into the level that you'd be comfortable with. And then in that case, you're a candidate for hair replacement, wigs, scarves, or some other type of hair extensions. I'm going to just ask any of you guys, if you have, let me know again if any of you have had a friend that has been diagnosed with scarring alopecia or hair loss, or has visited their dermatologist and the dermatologist has told them that their hair is not going to grow back, because I want to talk about it for a moment. Different forms of scarring alopecia are folliculitis, cellulitis, frontal fibrosing alopecia, pseudopelade. There are many different forms of scarring alopecia. It plagues a lot of our African Americans and women with overly curly, kinky, coily hair. They usually tend to have more of a scarring form of alopecia called lichen planopilaris or lichen planus. It is a form of alopecia, which is a scarring form where over time, dense connective fibers builds and builds and builds and builds on the skin, to the point where the body is trying to heal itself and it's trying to protect itself against the inflammation coming from the body. However, as the body tries to heal itself, as it goes in and out of that inflammatory phase, more and more callous skin buildup, covering areas where the hair may be able to go through and come through, but because they've waited too long, because the skin has calloused over or calcified, sometimes in that respect, the hair will not grow back. So in that case, that's called lichen. Many times the lichen can cause pain. It can cause, for some people, the skin is very tight. It feels like as much as you try to massage it, sometimes it feels like you can never get away from having a sore, tender, tight scalp. For many people, this is how lichen begins. So I want to talk about how CCCA begins for a lot of people. Again, TikTok, I'm talking about my book. You can find this in my profile. It's called CCCA and Scarring Alopecia. For Instagram and Facebook, the book, you can find it right in my link tree. All you have to do is go to the link tree above. Go to the link tree and my book will be in the link. It's in the shop section. And all you have to do is tap it and the book will appear. 5 of the many reasons why I see scarring alopecia, I'm going to just run through them very quickly. And also I'm going to share with you in this book here that I am not pulling this out of my hat. I want to let you know that this is called cicatricial alopecia. Yes, it's backwards, but you can't, I can't turn it down so that you can see it. Cicatricial alopecia. So when you look at these many reasons, these are the reasons here. These are the reasons why we have these scarring forms of alopecia. So I'm going to read these for you. Number 1 is developmental and inherited defects. Sometimes, now we've had some dermatologists over the past couple of years, because it's been it has been written in a couple of medical journals that CCCA has been transferred to us by inherited defects. So we can inherit a propensity to have a scarring form of a skin disease. We can get keloids. We can get scarring forms of alopecia. We can get different types of inherited defects from our mothers and our fathers who have predeceased us. So I have seen often that certain types of scarring alopecias run in families. So there is a propensity when you have the same diet, you live the same life, you have the same or similar lifestyle, this can rear its ugly head. So I say this to say, if you guys connect with me, you send me an email, you send me a comment, and you want that PubMed journal information about scarring alopecia that is inherited, I will let you know, because it came out a couple years ago from a couple of African-American dermatologists who have done the research, and they have found that there are inherited defects and links to scarring forms of alopecia. So next are bacterial, fungal, protozoan, and viral. Now, these are the ones that I talk about the most all the time when we're having scarring forms of alopecia. These are some of the primary reasons why I see people in my chair and they have the scarring forms of alopecia. And it begins so instantly and so subtly that before you know it, you will open up your scalp and you'll say, where did this small spot come from? Where did this come from? I'm going to talk about these particular reasons and how they develop. Last but not least, we have exogenous traumatic damage. So you can get traumatic damage from like having some sort of fire or a chemical burn, or someone did something to you that resulted in a scar. So that's exogenous traumatic damage. So sometimes in certain skin types, scars can form. And when you have a scar, more than likely hair will not grow in that area. Neoplasms. I'm not going to talk about neoplasms because that's more of a dermatological condition. And then there's also different types of diseases. There's certain diseases form that will promote scarring forms of alopecia. So I am not going to talk about the developmental and inherited defects, but I'm going to add one more. One additional reason why a lot of women and men develop scarring forms of alopecia is due to inflammation. Now, as I said earlier to you guys, I wrote a book on inflammation. You can find it right in my Linktree profile. All you have to do is go to the profile above on Instagram, go to my profile, and you will find this book in my profile. It's on inflammation. It's very helpful For those of you on Facebook, all you have to do is see that link that's scrolling across the screen. You visit that link, and the book will show up in the shop section. For my TikTok lovers, if you can hit the link in my bio. The information about my book will be there. So, inflammation is the primary reason why we tend to have scarring forms of alopecia. Inflammation. Where does inflammation come from? Okay, we're going to get to it. Inflammation, one way that we can get a lot of inflammation is from our diet and lifestyle. If we have a lifestyle that lends us to not shampooing our hair often, not going to the bathroom very often, eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of foods with salt, a lot of foods with sugar, a lot of food that does not have any fiber, food that's prepared outside of your home that is in a bag or a box. If you keep so-called protective styles in your hair for a certain amount of time, sometimes you can have different developmental bacteria and fungus that will linger. Whoops, sorry about that, everyone. You can have different bacteria and fungus that will linger and will cause issues for your skin and scalp. I will start with the food that we eat. In many people, the top area of the scalp is a very sensitive area. I'm going to get my mannequin so that I can show you. Give me 1 second. When I'm in the salon and I'm talking to my many clients about their hair and scalp issues, what I like to share with everyone is, and I'm sorry that the Scarring Alopecia book continues to come up, this area above the eyebrow, and the area above this black line, or should I say the area above the occipital region, this black line is right where the occipital region takes place. The area above that occipital is this black line here. For those here on Facebook, from the black line forward to the front hairline is a notorious area for a lot of people. Many people here, I'm going to show you on Instagram, if I wave my hand in front of TikTok, the book will appear. Now, this area here, if you can see this circle, this is an area that is notorious for developing inflammatory and nutritional defects. When you're not getting the right mix of vitamins and minerals, or if your sugar levels are too high, if there's too much inflammation, if your insulin levels are too high, if you're dealing with insulin resistance, if you're having a problem with your endocrine levels, if your cortisol levels are too high, which will subsequently raise your insulin levels because the cortisol will promote a lot of blood sugar surges into your body daily. If you have a very stressful lifestyle, your body will secrete blood sugar because your brain needs that blood sugar so that it can think, it can take care of you, it can help you move around, and it can help you during these particular moments. However, when you secrete a lot of blood sugar because you're stressed out, you have a stressed way of life, you have a spouse, a husband, a wife, kids, you have grandkids you're taking care of. When you have a very stressful life, you're going to exhibit a lot of blood sugar. Your body's going to secrete a lot of blood sugar. That blood sugar will cause your body to secrete a lot of insulin. The insulin has to knock down the blood sugar and force the blood sugar into the cell so that the body can use it. There's no way around it. You're not going to secrete cortisol without secreting corresponding insulin. What happens is when you secrete a lot of insulin and you have a faulty diet where you're eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar, you're eating raw foods for your blood type, what happens is you develop different forms of scarring. And this entire area on the top of your scalp will be eradicated. All of this hair, you'll tend to lose all of this hair because the high sugar in your diet, the high sugar will burn the capillaries completely out. Now, I want to just let you know, think of a diabetic. When a diabetic has to get their limbs and their toes and their feet amputated and their ankles and their legs amputated, it's the capillaries are not able to deliver the circulation, deliver oxygen rich blood, and the limbs are so full of sugar that sometimes the capillaries get burned out from the inflammation from the high sugar, and the body's mechanism of secreting the insulin, or if you get to a point where your body is no longer secreting insulin because your pancreas are overworked and they're inflamed, sometimes when your body does not recognize it and your body's full of sugar, you will have those areas where the capillaries cannot deliver the oxygen, they can't deliver blood flow, and you may get a cut, you may stump your toe, you may do something to your fingers, and you're not able to bounce back from that, and you sometimes have to get that limb cut off. This is the same mechanism for the hair and scalp. When your body is suffering with too much sugar overload, sugar, and corresponding insulin. When you're stressed out and you secrete a lot of blood sugar and cortisol, your body has to secrete insulin. This dynamic presents a phase of insulin resistance in a lot of people. And for those who have a high propensity to sugar, my blood type Bs, my blood type Os, you may be susceptible to having the different problems that people have when they have issues and sensitivities to sugar. This area, this top area of the scalp, this is the area that will burn out from all of the inflammation. It really won't attack the sides. It won't attack the sides. It will attack this area here because, as I said earlier, this is a central area, centrally located area. This area right in the middle. You part your hair right in the middle and take it all the way up. That whole area that burns out completely from the inflammation. So that was one particular type of inflammation that you can get when you're doing scarring alopecia. And again, if you would like more information, my book is located right in the bio. All you have to do is tap the information in the bio and find out more about this particular syndrome. Inflammation also begins when you are not clearing the waste from your gut. When you're not clearing the waste from your gut, you will develop, a lot of people will develop excess amount of yeast, an excess amount of sugar buildup, and an excess amount of fungus. Fungal issues are one of the many reasons why people develop scarring forms of alopecia. You can have a lingering fungal condition that may lend itself to developing into candidiasis, or let me see what else. Seborrhea dermatitis. Seborrhea at the root is a yeast and a sugar imbalance in your gut. So I just want to let you know that when you are dealing with scarring forms of alopecia, inflammation is one reason why we tend to have a problem with hair loss, and fungal is another. The fungal issues develop because of our weak and faulty gut. Give me 1 second, TikTok, because I have to plug up my phone because my phone is getting low. And I'm thinking that I may not be able to do this. Let me see. Let me take this here. So if anyone has any questions, let me know while I plug up my phone, and I promise I will answer your questions. Just let me know. I just have to plug up my phone before it dies. Sorry, everyone. Just plugging up my phone. And that's exactly what I get. Give me a second. So I hope everyone is following me. Please let me know what I'm saying makes sense, because I'm here, but a lot of people aren't saying anything. So I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing me. And I think oh, nope, this is not working. Okay, gotta take that out. Let me take this out. Give me 1 second, everyone. Sorry about that. Okay. Right. Here we go. So I say all that to say, everyone, that we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our bodies. Here we go. Let me see. All right, it's not letting me charge. I think my phone is overheating. So TikTok, I'm going to have to go. But again, if you need more information about my book, you can find it right in the profile. So I'm going to go because I think my phone is having a problem and it's overheating and it's not even charging. So I will come on again and you guys can find out more information about my book by tapping the link in the profile. So, all right, let me turn my, take that off over here. So, and I apologize, everyone. All right, this mess. Okay, everyone. Inflammation, one particular reason why we tend to lose our hair. We have to watch what we eat. We have to watch what we're putting into our bodies. So, inflammation, this book, you can find it right in the link that's scrolling across the screen for Facebook. You can find this and you can find out all about the ways that you can treat and manage your inflammation. If you're having any problems with pain, stiffness, swelling, you're probably suffering from inflammation. Those over 50, we tend to have more problems with inflammation because the body is aging and it's breaking down, and we are exposed to more ROS or reactive oxygen species. So we have more inflammation. As we're getting to be menopausal, a lot of us are experiencing a lot of inflammation. The information in that book will be very helpful. So again, inflammation is one reason why we tend to have many issues with scarring forms of alopecia. So you have to manage how you take care of your body. You have to manage the EMF in the phones, and you have to manage the Wi-Fi in your house. You have to manage the mercury fillings in your mouth, manage the toxicity on your foods. You have to manage everything that you're eating. When I say you have to micromanage, you have to really, really micromanage what you expose yourself to and what courses through your body because it eventually has to come out somewhere. So I say all that to say when you are not feeling well, your body is going to take what you give it. It's going to work where it is, but it's going to work at a deficit. When we are eating foods, when we're eating too much sugar, when we're eating too many processed foods and eating foods that are wrong for our blood type, it will lend us to have more inflammation. So over time, for a lot of people, the inflammation, it will it will become rheumatoid arthritis, it will become gout, it will become IBS, it can become eye pain. It can manifest different ways in different people, but for some people, the inflammation burns out the follicles in the scalp. It will burn out all of the follicles in the top of the scalp. So when you're dealing with inflammation, some people get the inflammation here. Again, I spoke about fungal issues. When you're not clearing the waste from your gut, when you're not going to the bathroom every single day, you have to go to the bathroom daily. You have to make sure that you're taking your probiotic fiber. You have to make sure that you're moving your gut because if you're not moving your bowels, that waste is going to be reabsorbed through the bloodstream and it may cause you fungal issues. It's going to cause eczema. It's going to cause different types of skin issues. It can cause psoriasis because your gut imbalance will cause your immune system to break down. You may develop some sort of psoriasis, but you have to take care of your gut. You have to make sure that you take care of your gut because your gut is the seat of immunity. 50 to 70% of your immunity lies in your gut. So different fungal issues can come primarily from a gut that is not moving, a gut that contains too much sugar and too many waste products that are being reabsorbed through the bloodstream. So next on the list is bacterial. And I want to share with you, bacteria can get in you and then it can stay in you. And if you have an issue and it becomes systemic, sometimes because the bacteria is lingering and lingering and lingering and you never really fully deal with it, some people it migrates in the scalp. I have had plenty of clients who come in for scalp treatment who have issues with bacteria. They'll have acne all across their scalp. They'll have acne necrotica. They'll have folliculitis. and they don't deal with it. And I'll say all the time, go to your dermatologist. He'll give you some antibiotics. He'll give you something so that you can get rid of it. They don't go. They come in. They want me to cover it up with a weave or quick weave or something, and they never really deal with it. That folliculitis, when it's unchecked and unmanaged, can cause you to have folliculitis, cellulitis, some sort of bacteria, and it will course through your body and it will be systemic. And if you never get rid of it, it will deal with you. It will deal with you in the form of cavities. It will give you women's bacterial infections. But the bacteria, when it's unmanaged and you do not deal with it, it will migrate and it will occur wherever it occurs. Case in point, I know I have a couple people on here and no one's really leaving me any comments. When you're dealing with things like hidradenitis suppurativa, where you're getting the boils in the folds of your skin, beneath your armpit, in your groin, or in the folds of your anus, where there is hair and there's overly curly hair, a lot of people get that condition. Your lymph is over acidified. It's dealing with too much toxin. That is what I'm referring to. When you have a lot of toxicity running through your body, the toxicity eventually has to come out, or it's just going to remain being systemic. Sometimes when you're dealing with lingering issues, they're eventually going to pop out. The boils will pop out. The cysts will pop out on you. And in some women and men, it will migrate to the scalp and it will show up as folliculitis, acne necrotica, cellulitis, because it's bacteria. Another way we deal with a lot of lingering bacteria that can migrate to the scalp are cavities and different tooth decay. When you're dealing with teeth that you never get the teeth pulled, and then you have all these rotten teeth in your mouth that you never dealt with. When you're getting a root canal, what happens is they will kill the roots. And if anyone's seen the movie Root Cause, watch that movie Root Cause, because when you kill the root in the mouth, sometimes they attempt to sterilize that tooth, but the mouth is the dirtiest area of the body. You can never fully extinguish and sanitize and sterilize the tooth. Often they'll go in and kill that root. So now you can't feel anything. You can't feel any more pain and stiffness. So any lingering bacteria that they seal up with a cap or seal up with a bridge or anything that they do in a dental space, if you're not visiting a holistic dentist or biological dentist, sometimes that lingering bacteria can cause issues for you that cause problems with your breast, because the bacteria from the teeth will migrate through the lymph and they'll attack themselves in the breast. They'll give you heart problems, they'll give you prostate problems, they'll give you kidney problems, they'll give you small intestine problems, because the teeth on the teeth meridian, whatever tooth on that teeth meridian, it associates with that particular body part, it will affect that body part and it will give you issues. So when I tell you guys you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of yourselves. Lingering mouth issues, bacteria, and migrate to the scalp. The brain is very protective in not allowing different things to cross the blood-brain barrier. So a lot of what we experience with our teeth, when we have cavities, when we have things that are happening with our mouth, when we get root canals, the brain will not allow it to cross the blood-brain barrier. So it forces it down into the lymph. That lymph will carry it through the body. And if it doesn't have a mode to dispose of it, if you're not going to the bathroom, and if you're not living in a certain way, sometimes a lot of us we're not able to deal with the bacteria in our body. So it continues to cause us issues. It continues to cause us women's problems. It continues to cause us problems with boils. And we have a lot of toxicity in our bodies. For some people, again, this bacteria can migrate to the scalp. I have covered inflammatory reasons why, due to our diet and lifestyle, why we have the propensity to get scarring forms of alopecia. We talked about fungal issues from a lingering gut that is not taken care of. You don't go to the bathroom. You don't want to give yourself pre and probiotic fiber. You don't want to eat your fiber. You don't go to the bathroom. Everyone comes to me. They want to have the best scalp possible, but no one wants to go to the bathroom. You have to go to the bathroom. You can't not go to the bathroom. I tell everyone all the time, that's the best thing for you, to spend time and fall in love with your commode, fall in love with your toilet. You have to, because you have to make sure that everything that you eat is coming out on a timely fashion. That's your transit time. Improve your transit time. Inflammation, bacteria, fungal. So now we're going to go on to viral. Viral. I want you all to understand with certain forms of scarring alopecia, you can develop a scarring form of alopecia, lingering viral infection. Case in point, I have had many women come to me in confidence, and when I ask their health maladies, I have to go through a series of questions. One of the things that I have to ask is what sort of viral load, what kind of viral issues do you have? Herpes zoster is one contributor to scarring forms of alopecia. When you have had a lingering viral load, sometimes it will do the damage the way it does the damage. Often you can get medication and the virus will stay kind of inactive. Sometimes it rears its ugly head and it shows itself again, then it's not active. It rears its ugly head, then it's not active. In the course of time, your body has to deal with things, it deals with things. For some women, the herpes will affect the scalp. Another scarring form of alopecia can happen from the deer tick bite because that's a viral load. Hepatitis A, B, and C. I'm saying this to say you have a viral load. You have to do the most to take care of yourself holistically, herbally. Do the most that you can to help your body deal with the virus. Often you're not able to rid yourself of the virus, and the virus, if you don't care for your body in a certain way, it migrates to the body. It's going to do the damage, just like a bull in a china shop. The bull is going to crash out all the windows. One of the things that may happen is subsequent hair loss because of the viral load. This is just what happens as the body is dealing with the chink in the armor in its immunity. The virus, it does in some people. So again, if you're keeping up with me, we have inflammatory reasons why, due to diet and lifestyle, why we tend to lose our hair in scarring forms of alopecia. We have bacterial issues from lingering issues, cavities, things that appear on our blood reports. They show up as high neutrophil levels, high white blood cell counts. These things are letting you know you're dealing with things that you have to get rid of, or else it's going to deal with you in a way that you may not be happy with. We also have fungal. We talked about viral. And one of the many additional reasons that people seem to skate over is protozoans. Protozoans. Now, I want to share with you all what protozoas are. Protozoas are 1 in 2 cell organisms that migrate through the gut, and as it leaves its feces and waste behind, we sometimes get worms from it. Now, protozoa, you might as well just call them worms. You get those worms from eating pork. If you guys don't believe me, go onto Google and put in the links between protozoa and pork. You can get protozoa, you can get worms from fish. I have had clients tell me they bought fish, they bring it home, they have worms in the fish. You can go on Netflix and watch 1,000 different movies about worms in food. Worms show up in undercooked meat, they show up in fish, they show up in pork, but worms are in a lot of foods. When those worms migrate into the gut, they will cause you different issues with your white blood cell panel. We as holistic practitioners know what it looks like because when we read your blood work and we do our scans, it shows up in a particular way. And in that respect, you have to get rid of those parasites in your gut because your parasites are going to continue seeping material from what it is that you eat, but the lingering feces that they leave behind is what causes damage in your body. So we have inflammation from faulty living, faulty diet and lifestyle, bacterial, fungal, viral, and protozoan. I also talked about developmental inherited defects. So you can get the propensity to develop CCCA as a result of your diet and lifestyle, as a result of bacteria, fungal, protozoa from an inherited defect. So just the way someone gave you blue eyes, hazel eyes, brown eyes, or that red fiery hair, you can develop a propensity to get CCCA. So I just want to let everyone know, if you need any information on how to take care of yourselves, if you are a hairstylist and you want to learn more about how to help your clients deal with the 5 top reasons why your clients are losing their hair, you can find my book by tapping that link that's scrolling across the screen on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to learn more how to help your body along with inflammation, if you want to know how to deal with the inflammation, resources, and different helpful information about inflammation, you can find this book in the link that's scrolling across the screen. You just tap it, go to the store, the shop section, and you'll see it. If you guys have any questions, my website is in the link. All you have to do is tap this link here, go to my page, and the Linktree link will appear. Any way possible to get in touch with me, my email, my phone, the address, ways to connect with me for a consultation are there. I am here for your needs. If you're ready to deal with your particular hair loss, if you are tired of putting a hat on, putting sewing weaves or extensions in it, and you want to migrate into growing your own hair back naturally, if you even are remotely in hair replacement and you want a nice natural look because you're tired of wearing sew-ins and things that don't look real, please visit us on our website and schedule a consultation so that we can help you with some of your needs today. My name is LaRon Quarles, and I'm a certified IAP trichologist. I am a holistic hair practitioner. So you'll hear me on here talking about many different reasons why health impacts hair. I talk about blood type living. I talk about managing your gut. I talk about the top of the head and what it tells when I see it. I talk about scarring alopecia. I talk about anything health related that is going to help me help you when you're dealing with hair loss, thinning hair, breaking hair, splitting hair, a sore scalp, scarring alopecia, whatever I do to talk to you guys about health and wellness and it relates to hair. That's what I do. I'm a trichologist. This is what I do. So in addition to being a trichologist and a hair loss practitioner, I am also a hairstylist. But these styling services that I perform, I don't do blow dries, I don't do curls, I don't do locks. I only service people who need hair replacement. I only do extensions, hair replacement, medical hair replacement, and I service those who are ready to go. I don't do the dance where you can just drop by and, oh, I just want to show you my scalp. Everyone has to schedule an appointment. My time is precious. The time that I spend with my clients, I don't disturb the time that I have with my clients. If someone walks in, you have to schedule an appointment. I don't stop what I'm doing to talk to someone else because someone paid to sit in my chair. If you want more information about how we can work together, how I can serve your needs, how I can help you eradicate and deal with your particular loss, deal with your itchy scalp, possibly bring your own hair back, please visit the link in my profile, visit the link there, and from Facebook and Instagram, visit the link that's scrolling across your screen, reach out, and I promise we will work it out. You can sign up for a 15-minute session to talk to me more about your needs, and then we can decide where you would like to go, where you would like to maybe visit someone else in another state, work with me virtually over a Zoom call. If you'd like to come visit me here in the Atlantic City area, I am here. Let's talk about it. 15 minutes is where we will start so that we can design a program around your needs. My name is LaRon Quarles, and I'm a certified IAT trichologist and hair loss specialist here in the Atlantic City area. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll talk soon.